You know what else is gross? Ah, broke a damn blood vessel!
Mystery pepperoni disease. It's not a tumor.
It's not a tumor.
And what in the world is happening with Stewie's eye? Get ready to laugh because today we're breaking down some of the most absurd medical scenes and freak injuries from Family Guy. Let's dive right in.
I just bought a giant room full of gold coins, and I'm gonna dive into it like Scrooge McDuck.
Oh my gosh, who doesn't love DuckTales? Oh!
It's not a liquid!
That's gotta hurt. Holy cow. Look at the injuries that he ends up sustaining. The biggest and the obvious open fracture of the right lower extremity and a massively torqued, dislocated left knee. This is a great example of why we do A, B, C, D, E.
A great many pieces of solid matter that form a hard floor-like surface! Ah!
Wow. Your brain and your mind immediately go to the scary abnormalities. You need to first make sure that airway, breathing, and circulation are appropriate before getting sucked into these extremity issues.
To the extreme! Well, Meg has the mumps all right.
Oh, nice. The mumps is a virus. It's typically self-limiting. Classic symptoms of a virus: headache, malaise, fevers, body aches, chills, night sweats. You actually get this classic swollen glands, and we call those actually your parotid glands there, your salivary glands. So that's parotitis.
How is it she was never immunized?
Well, it was 1992, and I couldn't be bothered with anything that didn't involve Dan Cortez.
Dan Cortez.
Besides, what's a big deal? I never got a mump shot.
Really? Well, I'd caution you that getting the mumps as an adult could result in serious complications.
We get the vaccine here in the United States, the MMR, when we're young, so we don't see this as often, but it still happens every now and then. If you do get it and you're unvaccinated, you have pretty intense symptoms.
In some cases, the symptoms could spread to the testicular glands.
Big deal, so I'll wear socks.
Mr. Griffin, your testicles are not in your feet.
You can actually get orchitis, swelling of your testicles.
Okay. Cool. No doubt.
Or you can have oophorytis, basically is swelling of the ovaries. And then in general, you can have other inflammatory responses in different areas of the body: meningitis, encephalitis. You can get even pancreatitis.
I don't think you realize the danger. Like the people who think it's okay to bring shampoo on an airplane.
The doctor's describing how dangerous it potentially can be as we get a little bit older. It could go into your brain.
Oh no, my brains.
Euthanasia is the intentional ending of one's life, usually due to pain, an incurable disease. It is not legal in a lot of countries, versus assisted suicide, when maybe a doctor would give somebody medications after lots of legal proceedings.
You don't have a terminal illness. Oh, for God's sake, you don't have... Brian, what are you doing? Don't touch that. That's the infected Play-Doh. Brian, no, stop! There. Now I have cooties too.
Cooties as the terminal illness. I love it. Cooties, we've all heard of it, but it is just related to childhood myth folklore.
Look at this room. It's beautiful. Brian, did you eat those mushrooms you found? Yeah, you actually look like a very old witch right now. But I'm also just happy to be alive.
Whoa, okay, Brian sure does love his mushrooms. There are plenty of other types of mushrooms out there, like lion's mane and cordyceps, that help you stay sharp and focused and energized. If you want to boost your brain power in a supplement way, check out Level Up by my company, Life Happens, at lifehappens.com and on Amazon. Oh! Took it to the right elbow. You can have multiple different types of injuries to the elbow. It could break off the olecranon in the back, which is the pointy part of your elbow. It could have a epicondylar fracture, a supracondylar fracture, or you can have a dislocation. Need to check for pulse, splint it, and get x-rays.
Sorry, Mr. Quagmire!
I heard that bone break. My ears are fine.
Because of the way the angle is, you want to make sure that the pulses are good and equal. You're going to check a radial pulse, which is at the base of the thumb. You just don't want to push too hard, because then you're just going to compress it down and it won't bound up unless your blood pressure is really high, because it does relate to how intense your blood pressure is.
Hi, Chris.
Wait a minute, that's the girl?
Yeah, isn't she special?
That's the way the state of Rhode Island would put it. There's something up with her, isn't there?
Yeah, she's got Down syndrome.
Down syndrome is a triplication of chromosome number 21. Typically, there are 2.
Right now.
Things that you would think for Down syndrome, maybe some developmental delay, but that's on a spectrum.
Doesn't she have the most beautiful eyes?
Well, the spacing seems a tad off, but yeah, individually they're not awful. All right, I'm on board. Go talk to her.
You can have structural characteristic changes to the face, which is what he's describing. There could also be internal things that you don't see, cardiac defects, there could be birth defects, or long-term medical issues relating to different aspects of the body.
I'm telling you, Chris is dying 10 times worse than those other kids. He's got a very rare disease called tumor syphilis itis.
Just put like itis, osis on the end. It's really interesting from a doctor standpoint. Same medications. There's a trade name and a generic name, or like the name of the medicine. As physicians, we have to know both. Different groups of individuals speak in different languages. So like pharmacists versus nurses.
Sounds sexy. What are the symptoms?
What are the symptoms? Take a look. He's growing nipples all over his body.
Those look like cut pieces of hot dog. Typically, people don't grow new nipples. Sometimes people do have an extra nipple out there, like a third nipple. Typically, it's smaller and not in a normal spot, which is fine. Most of the time, they're benign. You just leave it.
They look like pepperonis. Who do you think you are? My son happens to be very sensitive.
They probably are pepperonis.
See, look, they're coming right off.
Peter, are you listening? Chris has a crush on his teacher.
Ew, gross.
You know what else is gross? Ah, broke a damn blood vessel!
This probably is just a very benign condition.
Benign and a half.
Called a subconjunctival hemorrhage. The white part of your eye, the sclera, and then you have the conjunctiva. Here you can pop a small blood vessel that looks really, really scary, but it's not dangerous. It's just a vessel closer to the surface of the skin.
Hey, look, it's Old Man Withers, the guy who owns the amusement park. But let's see who's really under there.
What? Is your skin easily pulled off like that? No. Have I seen it happen often enough where somebody degloves part of their skin off their hand or part of their head? I have seen that, but not all the way through. People have had face transplants where you actually put on the skin of another person.
A skeleton!
Can I have my face back?
No, you're going to jail.
Wow. They do a fun depiction of the skeleton. See that the nose is gone because the tip is cartilage, but there is some bone at the bridge here. You even see some vertebrae in the back. The ears are gone as well. You just have holes on your skull on the side.
Where are your ears?
Family Guy, always good, always fun to react to. Always some good medical topics to discuss with you guys. Also, check out my limited edition Dr. ER apparel, available now for a short time only. Once it's gone, it's gone. So grab yours before it's too late at shopdrer.com. If you guys enjoyed this, definitely check out this playlist right here. Binge watch everything. And as always, please do me a favor. Could you subscribe, turn on your bell notifications, and hit that like button for me? Thank you so much for watching, and stay healthy, my friends.